Hola! Hi. Oof, 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 oof. Okay. Let me just kind of, where is it? I wanted to be really comfy for this video because I felt like I deserved it. Tough tits, I guess. So today's video is just gonna be me, my face, myself, telling you a little story about my childhood. And like many people, I did a lot of stupid things in my childhood. And I mean a lot. So this is just one of those stories that I have a lot of. I forgot about this story for a really long time, but then I think someone was in town and I was like, wait, I never told this story. And then I told them the story and they liked it, so I guess I'm telling the internet it. So when I was a young little bitch, I did Boy Scouts, and Boy Scouts was pretty bitchin', you know, you make like little cars that go skirt skirt and like boats, not like yachts, but like, yeah. So yeah, there's Boy Scouts and then there's Cub Scouts. I'm putting this away. You graduate Cub Scouts and you go into Boy Scouts, and at that point I was transitioning into Boy Scouts. Yeah. And I think it was throughout high school, and then there's like different ranks and whatever. I was there for a year. You go camping every so often. And I think I went a few times, and then this one time scarred me so bad, and that's the story I'm telling today. Because why would anything come easy to me? So, one time when I was a Boy Scout, there was a camping trip going on, and it wasn't exactly like solid camping. We were all going to this one place in the middle of the woods, like by itself, like a cabin. Like if you've been a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout, you've probably done this before, and you know what I'm talking about, where you go and you all stay in like this, like a recreational cabin, in the sense like there are only 3 rooms, and like in the back, and then there's just one big like dining hall kind of area. So that's where we were going, and on the way there, I'm such a little shit, and like I realized I scared myself, but on the way there, I was like, let's get really crazy. Let's scare everyone else. Let's make everyone shit themselves. I made up this story of like Birdman and like how we would go into like cabins and steal people and like sacrifice them into like his like bird god or whatever, and he could like fly. And I remember like pointing out my window and be like, there he was, and like being really annoying and shit like that. Like that's kind of like what I was doing. I was totally amping everyone up, and it was all fun and games. We were having a great time. There was nothing like bad, except I'm just a little bitch. Like at the time I was a little bitch. And basically in this giant room there were a ton of chairs and tables, and we all decided like, hey, let's build forts and stuff, and some people would sleep in this fort and other people would sleep in that fort. This doesn't really, like, it doesn't add anything to the story, but I think it's just kind of like a fun thing to say. But we brought this projector with us, and it like hooked up to a computer, and so we got to vote on movies. I don't know why, but I still have like a low-key irrational fear of zombies. But I have an irrational fear of zombies, and out of the movies, it was like Zombieland, like Finding Nemo, like all mediocre movies that like weren't scary or like anything near the sense. And then there was Zombieland, and you can guess that the movie we decided to watch was Zombieland. And I know now Zombieland wasn't a scary movie, but I was in like 8th grade, so I was like 12 when this happened. And like, you know when you're like, oh, it's fine, I'm not that scared, I'm not a pussy, that's not gonna fucking freak me out, like I'm fine, I'm chill with this dude, let's watch a fucking scary movie. Wrong. So in my head I was screaming, clearly. But when we decided to watch this movie. I don't think I really paid attention to it, but I'd run in and out of that room because there were like smaller rooms in the place. Like, out of all the rooms, there wasn't really anything else to do besides watch this movie, so I was kind of stuck watching this movie every so often. I was in the back, I wasn't paying attention, but I could still hear it, and I could still kind of see what was going on. So it wasn't like I could totally avoid watching this movie that was literally, like, it was like one of my worst fears at the time. I just remember hating zombies. I remember after this, like, whenever anyone would watch Zombieland, I'd be like, I hate that movie, get that shit away from me. Like, poo poo, get the fuck away. But seeing as I couldn't escape it, so I was just like, I'm not having any fun anymore. I didn't let anyone know that I was literally mortified and ready to shit myself because we were watching this stupid fucking zombie movie. I don't know, I think I just had like an irrational fear. I still have an irrational fear of zombies. But we watched the movie and it ends. And after a while, that kind of dies down, and then all the adults that were there were like, okay, it's time for everyone to go fucking sleep. Like, like, sleep, bitches. And so, my ass, my little 8th grade ass, was like, this is where I'm gonna fucking die. So I was sleeping under a table. I was laying there, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna be that bad. I'm not gonna like freak out and like cry or anything. Wrong. So I'm assuming it's maybe like 11 or 12 o'clock at this point, and we're all kind of being like ushered to bed. I'm already laying down. I am, like, the lights are on. We're all still talking, and like as long as people were talking, I knew I was gonna be fine when people were talking, but as soon as people stopped talking and it started quieting down, I was like, oh shit, bitch, I'm gonna die here. And like, for maybe an hour, I'm just sitting there, like, I'm not moving, I'm completely frozen in fear. And I'm just lying on the floor under this table, like, looking at this guy like, fuck, 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 I'm gonna die here, I'm gonna die here, I'm gonna die here. And kind of, like, building on it. Because no one was saying anything, so I couldn't, like, take my mind off of, like, I'm gonna die, zombies are gonna march in here and fucking eat all of us. Like, that's what was going on in my mind. And I was fucking losing it. And after an hour of that, I think I, like, built myself up to the point where I started crying. Like, crying my eyes out. Because I was just so, like, overwhelmed. I think I scared myself, like, at the beginning of the night with, like, the whole Birdman thing. Like, I scared the shit out of myself. And to me, I think it's really funny now. But, like, the parents woke up, they're like, what do we do? Like, I'm crying, I'm scared out of my fucking mind. My dad wasn't there. That's the thing. Like, I forgot to add this, but I went by myself, without my dad, without my mom. Usually, like, it's like a father-son thing, and for some reason my dad couldn't come to this one, so I was like, I still want to go. And, like, I was there by myself, so I didn't have my dad, so it wasn't like I could be like, Dad, I'm scared, like, whatever. So, I'm in the hands of other people's parents, and I'm furiously crying. I'm freaking out. I thought I was gonna die. The adults wound up, like, taking me and putting me in, like, I was put in the room with the parents that snored. That's where they put me. Like, I guess it's fine, because, like, I wound up falling asleep anyway. But, like, I guess the snoring, like, kind of, like, drowned out my, like, I'm gonna die kind of thoughts from me crying my eyes out. And from there, I literally kind of, like, I didn't really talk to anyone on the way back because it was really embarrassing because I cried in front of everyone. And then when I got dropped off at my house, they told my parents that I fucking cried like a little bitch. And then I dropped out of Boy Scouts because that was really fucking embarrassing. So the moral of the story is, if you're a little bitch, don't tell other people's stories, because you're a little bitch. Like, yeah. Oh, I'm fucking sweating. yeah, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you like, and make sure you subscribe. Yeah, that's all. See you on Friday.